Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Awakening. Yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. Welcome into this wonderful spiritual and mystical place. I encourage you to tag and share and text, share, and tag. Let people know that we're streaming live. Got some good stuff to share with you. Yes. Good evening or whatever time of day it is you're watching. I'm so excited. And I feel honored and privileged to be with you in moments like these. Thank you so much. Almighty, we're just thankful and grateful for this moment and this opportunity that's been granted us. Thank you, even now, for your guidance, your instruction. Thank you right now for the presence that's never an absence, the anointing, the energetic flow of the source, the creator, and the sustainer. Thank you right now for expanding us in awareness and consciousness. And we bless you in this moment, in this hour. The outward man perishes, but the inward man is being renewed even in this moment. We thank you by Yeshua's name, power, way, and consciousness. It is so, and so it is. Thank you, and thank you for tagging and sharing. Good to see you. Our resident therapist, Pastor Jerry Cotton, is on with us tonight. What an honor and a privilege it is to be with you. I'm about to combine words. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag.
let people know that we are streaming live, and I got some good stuff that I want to share with you all on tonight. All right? I always like to remind you of what the text says. Now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. That means there's a congenital ability that we are born with. We are born with not only a demuth and image and likeness, but we're born with powers and abilities as a divine species who's the offspring of the source, sustaining, and creator, which we believe to be all powerful. There's no way you can be powerless unless you manifest powerlessness with your beliefs. You are powerful. I want you to type in the comment section, I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. I am powerful. Come on, type that in the comment section. I am powerful. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Own the power. Declare the power. Decree the power. Speak the power. Utilize the power. Flow in the power. Get to know the power. You are powerful by permission of your creator, of your God, of your source, of your sustainer. Own it. What an honor and a privilege it is to know, to live, to breathe, to emanate, to exude such pure power. And I am honored to be sharing this planet with you at this particular time. It is most certainly a privilege to see you, to be with you, and to flow with you on tonight. I am powerful. Anybody else want to put up in the comment section? Awesomeness, awesomeness. Don't forget to follow me at the various social media handles or social media sites that you see listed at the bottom of the screen. And we believe that we've got some good content coming your way. So make sure that you spend time on those sites, including theaggreen.com. We're going to update that in a couple of days, which is the hub for everything that we do online. All right. And if you want to get some gear like the kind that I have on, go to the divinespeciesshop.com, or you can also go to theaggreen.com and pick up the gear. Now, last but not least, before I get into the teaching, guess what's up today? Can anybody tell me what's up today on the Patreon site? Can anybody share with us what's live, what's new, what's flowing, what's popping on the Patreon, our Patreon site today? Real quickly. What is new and fresh on the site today that you need to go over and check out as soon as the broadcast is over? What is it? Let me know. Thank you so much, Chris. A new article. And look like our resident therapist, Faith and Feeling. Want to get your feedback real quick from a few people who have read the article. What did you think about it? It is up right now, patreon.com/AG now. Please make sure that you make your way over there. I'm not going to be teaching from that article tonight. Probably next week is when I'll get into that subject matter, faith and feeling. Faith is one of my favorite topics and subjects that I love to discuss. It has a direct impact on the reality that we're living right now. So I want you to make sure that you make your way on over to patreon.com/AG now. All right. Thank you so much for your feedback as well. And I know many of you all are going to read it. We've seen an uptick in the traffic that is at our Patreon site. All right. I think that's all I have in terms of announcements tonight. We're going to go get ready to get into our teaching. And I am so, again, excited and delighted to be able to connect with you on this platform, wherever you're watching me, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Make sure that you leave as many likes and hearts as you possibly can. And we definitely want people to know by the algorithm that we are live and that we've got some empowering teaching we want to cover. Now, before I get into that, I always have to check in on you real quickly. Check in on you real quickly. What's good? Tell me how your week has been going thus far. Tell me how your week has been going thus far. What's good? I want to hear from you, family. How has your week been going thus far? Talk to me. Talk to me. How has your week been going thus far? I'm curious to know how your week has been going thus far. Talk to me and let me know how your week has been going thus far. Mine has been interesting. Started out somewhat challenging, but I have transitioned within to conquer certain thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And I am just glad and excited to continue to grow on my journey. All right. Let's see. Uh, Pastor God says, I definitely enjoyed it. Very helpful for faith and emotions. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's see here. Week has been amazing. Thank you so much, Krissa. And then again, he says, peaceful week, having more manifesting experiences. Now, that is so wonderful and glorious to hear from you all who are on with us on tonight. So thankful and so grateful that things are going well. And even if from your opinion they weren't, just understand there's always the potential with the shifting of a thought for it to transition into something more dynamic, prolific, and powerful. All right. Last week, I started a discussion with you about belief systems, the blueprint of experience. Belief systems, the blueprint of experience. This is where I started last week. We were having a discussion about this, and I want to continue to, if I can, have this discussion with you concerning belief systems being the blueprint of experience. I want you to understand that our experiences don't simply unfold. Hear what I'm saying today. They are constructed. Experiences don't unfold, they are constructed. They don't unfold, they are constructed. I'm trying to monitor multiple situations. That's why I keep backing up. Forgive me for that. Type it in the comment section for me. I want you to type this in the comment section. Experiences are constructed. Experiences are constructed. Type that in the comment section. Experiences are constructed. Experiences are constructed. Too many times we think again, and I've done some extensive teaching on the last several weeks, explaining to you all how the brain works. We talked about predictive processing. We've just talked about so many different things. And if you want to get a recap of what I've discussed, make sure you go back down the timeline on Facebook and find the previous videos on YouTube. They lay the groundwork for what I am discussing with you today. Everything going back to reality tunnels, confirmation of cognitive bias, the whole slew of discussions we've had about that. And of course, discussions prior to that, as we're talking about reality and the construction of it. And again, many people think that there is that the creator is creating the reality around us. And the truth be told, we have been authorized to co-create or create our own experiences. And this is proven scientifically. The blueprint behind this construction is our belief system. Like the invisible code that runs a computer program, beliefs shape how we interpret reality, what we expect, and ultimately what we experience. Now, again, William James, believe it or not, is considered by many to be the father of psychology, not Sigmund Freud. And William James says belief creates the actual fact. Belief creates the actual fact. That's from a book he wrote in 1896. So our belief systems act as inner architects, drawing up unseen plans from which our outer world is built. So I want you to type it in the comment section. Belief is what creates reality. I think we could just use Mark 9 and 23 again. Mark 9 and 23. And I have one assistant serving with me tonight, on with me tonight, Mark 9:23. Let's put that text up just for a biblical reference. Okay. It is belief systems that shape how we interpret reality or shape reality for us. And again, I showed you even through science uh, that the from the observer effect, and we'll get on it in just a few minutes, how the mental has an impact on matter, the spiritual has an impact on matter, beliefs has an impact on matter. It changes it based on the intention of the observer. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. And I spent 1 or 2 weeks talking about the observer effect from the earlier blog that I wrote. So in psychology, uh, belief systems are often divided into core beliefs and surface beliefs. I touched the surface on this last week. Core beliefs are deeply embedded ideas we hold ourselves, others, and the world. Again, they are deeply embedded ideas we hold, excuse me, about ourselves, others, and the world. So if you believe that you are not enough, you're saying to yourself, I am not enough. If you believe that people can't be trusted, you're saying to yourself, people can't be trusted. And this is a core belief that will have a direct impact on your reality. It's just as simple as that. It will directly impact your life because again you think that your thoughts are just ideas, invisible ideas that are fiction, but I want you to understand that your beliefs are not. They are like blueprints that guide the construction of a building. Our belief systems influence how life unfolds. They determine what opportunities we recognize, the decisions we make, and the actions we take. I want you to let this sink in. All right. So the core beliefs are considered to be deeply embedded ideas. Surface beliefs are more situational or logical. For example, there might be people who just don't like public speaking. That's considered to be a surface belief. So, according to CBT or cognitive behavior therapy, these beliefs are responsible for emotional reactions and behavioral patterns. Dr. Aaron Beck, who's a legend in this field, says every emotion and behavior is preceded by a thought or belief. Every emotion or behavior is preceded by a thought or belief. Now, there are some who would argue with them because it doesn't seem to always, from what we have observed over the last decade or so from the psychological field. They are acknowledging that you can have a feeling and then a thought is generated. But what's important to know is that even if the emotion comes first, a thought is going to pop up in your head at some point in time to try and define the emotion. All right. So understand that emotions are connected to thoughts and thoughts are connected to emotions. I want you to hear me real clearly. Why is this kind of teaching relevant? Relevant because no matter what your faith beliefs are, if you're not balanced, if you haven't mastered your mind, will, and emotions, if you don't understand that you are directly impacting your own reality and co-creating it or creating it, then you are operating in a dimension of unconsciousness. You're operating in a dimension of unknowing. And therefore, you are moving through life, putting things in your path, bringing things into your world, blaming other people for it, and don't know that you're directly responsible for it. Okay? This is why this kind of teaching is relevant. So, beliefs are not just abstract, they are embedded in the neuroplastic architecture of the brain. So when a belief is repeated or emotionally charged, it forms neural networks that become stronger over time, like grooves carved into a path. Neuroplasticity means these networks can change. So when we're thinking something and an emotion is attached to it, it forms neural pathways. And it's kind of like when you pave a highway, and the highway is there for vehicles to travel. And there's certain interstates you take to get to certain places, and there are certain interstates you take that'll get you there quicker. Well, as it relates to the neuroplasticity or the neuroplastic architecture, for example, if depression is a series of highways in your mind, a series of grooves and patterns in your mind. And when you get triggered, you're going to take the road most traveled, not the road less traveled in terms of your response. Did you catch that? You're going to take, from a brain's perspective, the road most traveled. And if you're triggered, for example, to reflect on identity issues, if you're triggered to reflect on inferiority, feelings of inferiority, feelings of low self-esteem and low self-worth, if you are triggered to in terms of by a situation, and your default highway is to go to the story of feeling rejected and being rejected, that's where you're going to go most commonly. That's where you're going to go most readily. And it happens so fast, as I shared with you before, that the body starts acting like the brain. It's like you get triggered, and before your mind can process it even predictively, the body has already decided to go dark. It's already decided to go negative. It's already decided to put you in the feeling, in the releasing of those chemicals where you feel dark, you feel somber, feel sad, you feel gloomy. All right, because that is the road most traveled. The reticular activating system, the RAS, I brought it up last week, is the thing that filters. It's in the brain. It filters information to align with our dominant beliefs, showing us what matches and hiding what doesn't. So again, we every day are looking for things, family, that match our belief system. I'm going to say it again. We are looking for things that match our belief system. What is dangerous about this? What's dangerous about this is that you're not going to give yourself an opportunity to learn anything new because you're constantly looking for something old. This is dangerous. You'll constantly be living within the perimeter or the boundaries, intellectually, psychologically, and dare I say spiritually, yes, because although the spiritual, let's not get into holographic projections of physicality in a minute, but although the spiritual us literally lives in another realm or another dimension, it can only express itself based on what we've conditioned our minds consciously and subconsciously to be. So it cannot be fully expressed in its purest state as long as the persona or the ego that has been formed by us continues to be overloaded with limiting beliefs. The neuroplastic architecture restricts it. We don't grow. You're not going to grow. You're not going to expand. You're not going to get better. It's shameful, in my opinion, to say it was good enough for so and so and it's good enough for me. No, so and so operated according to that belief. So and so operated according to what could potentially be a faulty interpretation of a religious idea or religious concept. And you literally don't understand that this is your reticular activating system guarding you, guarding you, or preventing new things, new light from penetrating the darkness of gross ignorance. The quantum implication about observation and belief. I touched on this. Let me see if I got that quote in. Dr. Joe Dispenza, neurons that fire together, wire together, change your thoughts, and you change your brain and your life. End quote. We're going to get into some new stuff in just a few minutes. I'm giving you a recap. The quantum implication. Again, the observer effect that came from the double slit experiment showed us that the act of observation alters the outcome of an event. Wow. This is powerful. This scientific fact parallels metaphysical teachings that claim consciousness shapes reality. Listen to this. What we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning, end quote, Werner Heisenberg, a quantum physicist. Let me park here for a few minutes. What we observe with intention is creating outcomes. In other words, your intention is what you believe. Your intention is your faith. So if you're looking at a situation and you automatically decide that it's bad, you have a conviction, excuse me, that it's bad, guess what is going to manifest based on your interpretation as bad? Guess what it's going to look like to you? Bad. Guess what it's going to feel like to you? Bad. You know, a lot of folks around here talk about, I don't feel that in my spirit. That's off. No, you don't feel that in your reticular activating system. You don't feel that in the way that your brain is conditioned. You don't feel that in your inflexibility to be open to new information and new truths outside your paradigm. You don't feel that in your core beliefs. That's what you're really saying. There's there's a discomfort that can occur because you discern something. Okay. And discernment is instantaneous information, even if it's uh, not intelligible. And when I say intelligible, even when it's not decodable semantically or decodable in terms of language or decodable in terms of concept or decodable in terms of you being able to decode in a moment exactly what it means, you can feel it's off. Yes, we have that ability. But many times the opposite side of that is it's not just spirit discerning, it's your paradigm, it's your brain saying this is unfamiliar to us. It's your brain saying we've been taught against that. It's your brain saying you can't accept that because this is not considered to be what we know and what we accept and what we adopt. So what you are saying is your spirit, is your brain, it's your reticular activating system saying I'm just not comfortable with this. And it's not comfortable with this because that truth, watch this, is the road never traveled. It's not even the road less traveled. It's the road never traveled in your brain because the road most traveled has conditioned you within a certain brain neuroplastic architecture to just believe certain things, period. There are some great things. Have you ever been in a situation and bells and whistles went off? Bells and whistles went off, and you were skeptical and you were resistant. Sometimes you were mean about it because your mind was telling you this can't be real, or your mind was telling you, just watch. This ain't as real as it seems. This is something gonna happen. This person is just like, or this situation is gonna turn out like the, and you just instead of bailing out or pulling out, you just allowed yourself, even in that discomfort, to settle in the moment, and it turned out that the situation was nothing like the bells and whistles tried to tell you. It's nothing like your alert system tried to warn you of. It's nothing like your reticular activating system was saying. Nothing like that. That's a prime example. This happened to me. I know it's happened to many of you all. And in that moment, that that part of you had been trained and conditioned. Your brain, that highways led to a certain outcome in predictively. It's relying on memories, stored memories of past experiences, and it's telling you up front, he ain't no good, she ain't no good, this ain't an opportunity, or this don't feel right, or that's not right. And for the most part, when you decided to just calm yourself and settle and see what it's really all about and allow yourself to explore it, you were pleasantly surprised to realize they weren't the problem, you were the problem. And it was your thinking. It was what you had been conditioned many times by trauma that turns into dysfunction, that now is our core belief and is responsible for the implementation of paradigm, the execution of the paradigm. That is the thing that stunted and stalled us. This is happening every day. So dimensions of beliefs, as you see on the screen, they are psychological, they are scientific, they are also spiritual, right? I want you to understand that. They are psychological, they are scientific, they are also spiritual. Okay. Now, as it relates to, we're going to move on real quickly, but I want to say this to you again. I want to say this to you again. The observer effect shows that the act of observation alters the outcome of an event. Hear what I'm saying today. You do not, family, and we have the power to do this. Something good can show up in our lives, and we look at it with skepticism, we look at it with anger, we look at it with pessimism, we look at it with cynicism. Watch this, or we mistreat the good like it's bad, and our intention can move the good out of our lives because your response really, which is a reaction, your reaction by intention, your faith, your is your intention, and it says looking at that situation, it's not good, he's not good, this is not good, this don't feel good, this ain't right, blah blah blah, watch this. If you don't adjust that, your intention will change it, which means that that which is good, which is showed up for you at some point in time, will disappear. Watch this, because you believe it's not real. So you are the one who dismisses it. Come on now, somebody. I hope I give him some likes and hearts on Facebook. It's a powerful thing. So that experiment showed that subatomic particles responded to the intention of the observers, which was a scientific instrument that they put in there to watch. But again, it wasn't just the observation, the instrument or the tiny microscope. Those particles connected with the intention of the scientists who put the microscope in and to watch how we react, and it changed the way it was reacting based on the intention of those scientists who were the observers. This is powerful. And you and I are changing things all the time based on how we see it, based on what we believe about it, based on the intentions we have when we look at it. Beliefs versus manifestation engines. Mark 9:23, all things are possible to him who believes, one of my favorite scriptures in all the Holy Writ. The Buddha says we are what we think, all that we are rises with our thoughts. Again, across the board, in the multiplicity of religions, there's a congruence on the spiritual and the mental having an impact on the physical. The law of attraction says like attracts like. Your beliefs attract matching frequencies. The Hermetic principle of mentalism says the all is mind. The universe is mental. Wow. I don't have time to get into it today. All right. So I want you to understand that belief is seeing not just a passive state, but an active energy that co-creates with universal intelligence, or co-creates with the intelligence that's encoded, watch this, in all living things on its smallest fundamental uh smallest fundamental state of being or state of existence. Belief is not passive, it's active, and it's co-creating. I want you to type it in the comment section. Belief Belief is not passive. It co-creates. Type that in the comment section. Belief is not passive. It co-creates. Wow. Woo. Come on now. This is good stuff. It's not passive. He said, well, I didn't tell nobody. This is what gets me. This is what I want you to understand. You're not telling a person, but you're telling the subatomic particles in you. You're telling the particles in the atmosphere. You're telling this universe that is conscious on a level beyond your human telescopic eyes. You are emitting a frequency and an energy all the time. And we've had these discussions how you can be in the presence of people and feel their energy and feel their nastiness or feel their happiness. We talk about this. That's not discernment right there. That's transmission and receiving. That's a person transmitting and you receiving atmospherically through the one stream of consciousness. Belief is not passive. Your thoughts are not passive, inert, powerless things. They're powerful and they're generating things all the time. All right. Now, this is what we're going to start to get into tonight. Let me look at my time. I had to give you a brief recap. I want to get into the sociological influence or collective belief systems. We'll probably stop here tonight. I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about collective belief systems. I want you to type that word in the comment section. Collective belief systems. Collective belief systems. Wow. Collective belief systems. Remember, I talked about in on the reality tunnels, religious reality tunnels. I think we had like a cultural reality tunnel we dealt with. This is kind of related here. And this is where I'm going to probably park tonight. Yes, I might get to the next point, but I want to spend a little time here. Type in the comment section, collective belief systems. Okay. Do you know right now, family, that collective belief systems or is also collective consciousness? Because collective belief systems, I should say, let me set it up like this. Collective belief systems are reflected or exist within collective consciousness. So we believe something collectively. Watch this. We are conscious of it collectively and we manifest it collectively. The Constitution in the United States of America is a collective belief system. People believe in the Constitution, some of them more than they believe in their religious books. It is in the collective belief system amongst the collective consciousness of our politicians and the political structure of this country, the three branches of government, that the Constitution is the highest law of the land, and anything that deviates from it is wrong. I just use that as an example. So what I want you to see is that it is this collective belief system that is a part of the collective consciousness that nations live by or live according to. States live according to them. Towns live according to them. Tribes, families, come on here, religious institutions, corporations live according to these collective belief systems. My goodness. Beliefs are also socially constructed and maintained. I'm going to say it again. Beliefs are also socially constructed and maintained. So society creates the beliefs and maintains them. In other words, they upkeep them. Like I talked about the Constitution, which was put in place, what was it, 1776, somewhere around that time. And since then, every generation that comes along after it maintains it. Some maintain it better than others. Hear me. What we believe is often a reflection of number one, cultural narratives. I want you to type it in the comment section, cultural narratives. This is the kind of teaching that'll set you free. This is the kind of teaching that will liberate you. This is the kind of teaching that will get you unstuck. This is the kind of teaching that will open you up. Okay. Let's type that in the comment section. Type it in the comment section. Cultural narratives. Cultural narratives. I'm going to take this out. I had something I was going to mention in that, but I won't get around to it. A cultural narrative, for example, uh, ethnic groups, all ethnic groups have cultures. Corporations have cultures. Uh, countries have cultures. Sometimes neighborhoods have their own distinct cultures. But a cultural narrative is basically a set of beliefs that that culture represents, or that culture has defined, or that culture um, stands for. It could be family. There are certain every family has a culture. Every family has a culture. Every race has a culture. Again, every ethnic group has a culture. Every religious institution has a culture. Catch me. Law enforcement has a culture. Lawyer to be If you're a lawyer, there's a culture in the judiciary system. Did you catch what I'm saying today? If you serve in Congress, there's a culture in the legislative branch. There's a culture, okay, in the presidency. All right, the executive branch. Every culture exists everywhere, and this is what I want you to understand. You and I are doing certain things that we consider to be normal because the culture says so. I know of cultures where hoeing is normal. Hoeing is normal. I know cultures where it's not just the men that have boyfriends, girlfriends, excuse me. It's the women that have boyfriends too. It's like a culture to cheat, and nobody thinks that much of it. It hurts and stings people along the way, but it's like this is the way it is. There are cultures set up like that. There are cultures that drugs is just a part of the culture of the family. Doing drugs is a part of the culture of the family. Did you catch what I just said? We don't understand how conditioned we are by culture. And the problem with that is that there might be some things in the culture that you were raised in that were wrong. Or when I say wrong, that is not good for you. That's not beneficial to you. That's really what I want to say. It's not conducive to your growth and your development. And guess what? When it exists in the culture, because everybody else is doing it, there's a pressure for you to do it. And it's like you feel like an outsider. I'll never forget, and I'm not going to say who, but one of my aunts was making fun of me. I went away to school and I was pursuing my first degree. And I came home to visit, and they were having, in our community, we call it chitlins, chitlings in our community. I came home and said chitterlings. I pronounced it correctly, and they laughed at me. She laughed at me and made fun of me. But the point is, there's a slang, there's ebonics, there's a bending of phonetics in certain cultures. They don't say it the way it's supposed to be said. They say it the way they were taught to say it because it's a part of the culture Their accent is a part of the culture. The enunciation and pronunciation is a part of the culture. Sometimes um, um, cursing and swearing is a part of the culture. Okay. So you got to understand, I'm trying to make you aware of the culture you're in and how the culture can influence you to be good, a better version of you, or a lesser version of you. Am I making any sense to anybody? Let me go back to Facebook because that y'all quiet in the comment section, and I must be. Hopefully, I'm making some sense. Hopefully, I'm making some sense. Hopefully, somebody it's resonating with somebody what I'm saying. There is a cultural narrative. Oh, we don't do that over here. Or we don't say that over here. Or we don't accept that over here. Or we don't act like that over here. That's all a part of the culture. The way you spend holidays, the way you celebrate holidays, the way you do holidays is a cultural narrative. All right. Then sometimes it's a part of the culture. Relationships are part of the culture. How you treat the person you're in relationship with, what you should do. Relationship roles emanate from the culture. The next thing I want to mention to you is religious or familial programming. So type that in the comment section. Religious or familial programming. Religious or familial programming. Type that in the comment section. Religious or familial programming. Ooh, I feel this. I feel this. I feel this. Religious or familial programming. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Powerful stuff here, family. Again, I hope you're appreciating my approach. I hope you're appreciating my approach. And the reason I say that is because I'm going to give you not just spiritual and religious facts. I'm going to give you scientific facts. I'm going to give you psychological and sociological facts and any other fact that highlights our experience. I don't want you to be drowning and not know why you're drowning. Or I don't want you to be drowning and not even know you're drowning. Did you catch that? There are people who are mean and don't know they mean, or mean and don't know why they mean, angry and don't know why they're angry, or angry and don't know they're angry. Or you hear what I'm saying? Or there are people who, again, who are killing themselves and don't know they're destroying themselves and don't know why. Some people know they are, but they don't know why. Religious or familial programming is a collective belief system. Listen, let me tell you something. Families are foundations of the world. It's the foundation of the world. The world is built around families, but it's also built around religion. And religion has a direct impact on the family unit. Hear what I'm saying today. And there are some collective beliefs in family that are toxic. Guess where trauma starts? In family. Guess where that toxicity and dysfunction starts? In family. Guess where perversion starts? In families. But also, guess where integrity starts? In families. Guess where honesty starts? In family. Guess where love starts? In families. And it's taken from the family unit into the larger world, or into the world we might say at large. And again, the familial or the family is going to be directly impacted by religion in most cases. Both are powerful institutions. Okay. Both have gatekeepers in them. Both are powerfully shaping people every day as we speak. Just like some people have problems processing these messages, either from what your family taught you or from what your church, your synagogue, your mosque, or wherever you went taught you. You are conditioned by collective beliefs. And you think because it was taught to you by the collective or by your group. It's got to be right. You think it's correct because it was taught to you by somebody you respect, and they must have known exactly what they were talking about. So I'm not switching or changing or opening myself up to anything new. And this is where we fail. Knowledge is increasing and expanding. We know more in this year than we knew 10 years ago. I need people to understand that knowledge is never static. Knowledge doesn't just stay in a state of potentiality. It's kinetic. It's constantly moving, unraveling, unfolding. And if you get stuck in a static state from 20, 30 years ago and stuff people are interpreting from 100 years ago, and you don't do your own research and open yourself up to more information, then you will be stuck in the mindset of the 1800s, of the 1900s. You will be stuck in the mindset sometimes from your teachers who listened to other teachers who were taught incorrectly, all because your family or your religious environment said don't change, don't ever move, stay right here. The house can be burning down around you, your life can be burning down around you, family, but your collective belief system, again, is the thing that is showing up in reality. It's the thing that you're seeing day in and day out. I need you to really start examining yourself and saying, why am I trying stuff that only work 50% of the time? Why am I trying stuff that work 25% of the time? Or why doesn't this work 100% of the time when you told me this was a law? When you told me that if I do it this way, this is how it works. Why am I getting these confusing signals from God? Well, the failure is in you, not in God. No, the failure is in the teaching. The flaw is in the presentation. The flaw is in the information, not so much the interpretation. It's how the interpreter is interpreting it for the listening audience. And it's how the listening audience is processing it, either from a closed lens or an open one, a closed mind or an open one. Lord have mercy, as my father would say. I felt that when I said it. Woo-hoo! My goodness. I want you to type it in the comment section, historical events and trauma. Historical events and trauma. Type that in the comment section. Historical events and trauma. Type that in the comment section. I got something powerful I'm going to put up as uh, uh, from Emil Durkheim. When we want to put historical events and trauma, collective events. These are, excuse me, collective belief systems. Do you realize that trauma is a belief? Mm-mm-mm. History is a belief, trauma is a belief. There's been a history that's been told to people of African descent for years, family, that wasn't even factual, but it became a belief. And I'm going to share with you why. Trauma becomes a belief. From trauma, we form personal ideologies, personal philosophies, personal core beliefs about ourselves. There are women who've been molested who actually have been made to feel by people close to them, and this happened to them as a child, that it was their fault. They were too provocative at 7. You were too fast at 9. Do you hear me? Foolishness. Then this child who's innocent doesn't know and doesn't understand this has been imposed upon them. They accept it as a belief system, and they blaming themselves for what the perpetrator did to them. All trauma is rooted in some kind of belief. All trauma is rooted in some kind of belief. You believe you are traumatic because of this. Even if you put your trauma on your perpetrator completely, even if you're grown now and can go to counseling and get help, but you still believe that had this not happened to you, you wouldn't be where you are now and you could be a much better person. Not taking the onus of responsibility on yourself and saying that was then, it don't even exist now. Now I got to deal with now my spiritual and psychological state, and I can shift it and change it. Hear what I'm saying today. And it has nothing to do with what so and so did to me because I don't have to allow so and so to continue to have power over me. Here we But if the belief is that they messed your life up, then you are unleashing within yourself a power and a control and an authority that you placed in the hands of that person that they should never have because it is your belief they ruined you. This is why it is difficult for sometimes for people to heal because they believe in their trauma. And some believe so strongly, they feed off of it. They believe it so, and it has become a crutch. It has become an excuse they can use. It has become a reason they can come up with as to why they're not where they want to be or why they're not where they think they should be. Come on here, somebody. They honestly believe that the one thing can stop them forever. They believe that. And I have deep empathy. I've had trauma. I know a lot of people that have trauma. I've counseled folk with trauma. I got a lot of empathy for people who have trauma, but they believe in their trauma. If your trauma is a fear or phobia, people believe in that fear or that phobia, and they feed it all the time. If you've got problems with fear, you believe in that fear. That's why you act according to what the fear you believe in is dictating and guiding you to do. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I had to do it like this. And you have to do it like that because you believe if you don't do it like that, there are going to be consequences that like last time, or you're going to end up in the same with the same consequences that Joe Blow had. You literally believe that. So when you get in situations and that trauma starts resurfacing, that belief, watch this, in a principle that's centered around your survival, a principle that's centered around your safety, a principle that you created to keep yourself secure, you would do strange, weird stuff in that moment. And it's nobody else but you because you believe in that moment that this is the best way for you to handle this. And if you don't handle this, then you're gonna fall apart. If you're gonna handle this, sometime how you're gonna be stepped on, and you don't want to know be stepped on again, or you don't want to be rejected again. You are literally operating with a belief that the outcome is going to be consistent with what you've experienced in the past or what you saw other people experiencing. You believe that. You believe it, you feel it. The body is producing chemical emotions in the moment to say, this is real, this is real. Your heart is racing, boom, 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 boom. Or you're droopy and you're sad and you're gloomy. And it's not even the same thing. But with your focus and intention, you are creating it as if it is the same thing. It's not the same person, it's not the same situation. Come on now, it's not the same set of events. It's not the same set of circumstances. It's not the same players involved, not the same people involved, not the same geography, not the same city, not the same conditions. Catch what I'm saying today. But you believe in what that trauma is telling you. You believe in that fear. You believe that there's a certain way you have to act when you get on an airplane. You believe you got to clutch the seats. You believe you got to take certain things to anesthetize yourself or calm yourself because you believe you can honestly be a victim like you saw on television, or you believe that the turbulence can kill. You believe in it and it manifests. So people are wondering why you getting all bent out of shape, why you fidgety, why your eyes bucking, why you sweating, why you move, why you talking different way, why it's because you believe in the trauma. The trauma is telling you, no, these conditions are very dangerous. You will die or you have the potential to die. So you have to act this way to protect yourself. You have to act this way to get through it. And guess what? You are stopping yourself from living an enjoyable, fulfilling life. You are stopping yourself from experiencing somebody helping you, somebody serving you, somebody assisting you. Folk are like, I don't have nobody. And then when somebody show up, you won't let the somebody do it because your trauma tells you, well, people do it and leave. So I just do everything myself, or I had to get myself. Do you? Oh, you're catching. Am I making any sense? This family, this right here, this right here is a belief that could come from historical events and trauma. I got to get out of here. Let me put up a powerful quote for you. Let me put up a powerful quote for you. Let me put up a powerful quote. And I want your opinion on the quote. I'm going to elaborate and I want your opinion on the quote. Here we go. Here we go, family. Sociologist Emil Durkheim, very famous, legendary, suggested that collective beliefs become social facts, real and powerful simply because enough people agree on them. Do you know that this is many times how things have become facts over the last 2,000 years? Because a bunch of people said so. A bunch of people got in a room and said so. A bunch of people got in the room and voted on it. And now it's a fact. No clear cut evidence, no eyewitness statements. Come on now. They got in a room and said it. And then they pass it to the next generation. And the next generation said, we can't change it because it's already been voted on. It's a fact now. It's truth. No way it can be wrong. No way this perspective can be wrong. No way this belief system could be wrong. Because I see the results of what they said. There's no way they said it. I experienced it. They voted on it. There's no way. Hear what Emil Durkheim is saying. Social facts, they're real and powerful simply because enough people agree on them. It's happening in our world. It happens in religion. It happens in politics. It happens in government. It happens in family. Enough people got together and said, this really happened. This is the way it is. And before you know it, it's a fact. And people are fighting, watch this. People are fighting over lies or falsehoods like it's true. It never was true. It's just a group of people got together and said, based on our estimation and observation, it's true. Next thing you know, we got people, watch this, who get conditioned and that particular activating system starts operating. And now they're hearing new information, but they got an obligation to defend the think tank, the group tank that has made it a truth, that has made it a fact now. So they're not open to the light. What I'm saying today, just because a bunch of people are saying it and been saying it for years, doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it right. Are you hearing me? There are things going on all around us that make no doggone sense. And people are doing it because a group accepted it as truth, fact, normalcy, the way of life, the right code, a belief system. Hear me, family. It's dangerous. And when you start asking questions, why we do this like that? Why we do that like that? Where did this come from? Who gave this interpretation for this? How was this framed and put together? A lot of folk don't even know. And when you start asking questions, sometimes it goes above the head of the people who are teaching you because they don't know. Oh, but it says it in this book. Oh, but it says it over here. Oh, but so and so said it. And if so and so said it, I believe it. And I saw it myself in the book. Hear me, family. Hear me, family. You don't want to live your life. Develop your concept of God. Develop your concept of self. You don't want your understanding to be limited to something people determine was a fact when there could be other information out there to prove it's not as factual as you thought. There's a group of people who just decided a few hundred years ago this is the way it is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let me finish up with some examples, and I'm done. I'm done. This is powerful. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying this. Let's look at a couple of collective belief systems. For example, there are people as it relates to money. Okay. Money, they believe, is intrinsically worthless, but collectively agreed to have value. Did you catch that? I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. There are people, that's why folks struggle with income and making money and manifesting it and feeling free and open to thriving as a result of it, because intrinsically they feel worthless. They don't feel worthy of the money, or they feel dirty because of the money. But yet at the same time, they do agree that it has value and it's necessary. And they don't understand that they are repelling it. Here's another collective. Uh, here's another collective belief that people espouse: racial superiority. There are people who honestly think, watch this, they honestly think and believe racial superiority or inferiority myths, culturally sustained belief systems that shape real experiences. There are white folks who've been taught black folks are animals that didn't have souls, weren't as intelligent. That's why it took us so long in the National Football League to accept black quarterbacks, and in all sports to accept blacks in athletics, because it had been passed on to a certain race by a certain race by their predecessors that we were not as intelligent. But you're connected to great ancient civilizations. Your DNA flows back to the richest soil, the richest country, the richest nation in terms of natural resources, along with an ancient history that goes back at least 200,000 years. But somehow you're inherently not intelligent. Do you catch that? It became a conscious belief system during slavery. We got black folks sitting outside churches. They don't need to be preached to. They don't even have a soul. They don't need to be given certain jobs. They're not intelligent. And the ones that are intelligent, we can't let them tap into that. So we don't even want them to read. That was a part of a collective belief system. And last but not least, this last one's going to get you. This last one's going to get you. That's a part of a come on here, a conscious, uh, a collective, excuse me, belief system. I'm gonna put it up on the screen for you, and I'm done tonight. The American dream. I want you to understand that the American dream is the belief that success is available to anyone, regardless of background. Now, you know what this platform stands for. This platform stands for I believe anything is possible. Okay. But I also want you to understand it's not the American dream that makes it possible, because the American dream is systemically booby trapped to stop marginalized, minoritized communities. So the vision of the American dream is booby trapped. It's got landmines in it. Okay. It's got traps. It's got pitfalls. The way you circumvent that is with belief and faith with your creator, within yourself, understanding your spiritual identity, how powerful you are, and you can circumvent the booby traps. You can go past the systemic grotesqueries. They are part of an inherently flawed system built on the backs of people who said they were superior, made another group inferior, subjugated them, made them do their bidding, treated them worse than animals. This not only the stain, but the spirit and the soul of the DNA of that monstrous philosophical concept lives in identity politics today. So the American dream, the opportunities are not there systemically for people. That's why you have to own yourself, your knowledge and wisdom as a divine species of being, and understand with men it is impossible, but not with God. With God, all things are possible. Understand, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Understand, it's according to your faith, so be it unto you, recognizing that faith is the observer in the observer effect experiment. It is the intention that has a direct, powerful impact on making three-dimensional reality malleable and causes it to come into full alignment with the intention of the believer. Mm, I gotta stop here. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. This is all I have for you tonight. We'll pick up next week, probably with limiting versus liberating beliefs, and talk more about updating the blueprint and rewiring belief systems. I'm going to give you some solutions. I should start next week with giving you some solutions on how to rewire belief systems. Love you so dearly. Now, listen, if you haven't made your way to the Patreon platform today and read the latest blog article, you got to get there. What you wait on? Make your way over to patreon.com/AG Green now and read my latest article. I'm telling you now, it's going to empower you. It's going to encourage you. I think it's even going to enlighten and illuminate you. The donation opportunities are on the screen. I thank you for every ounce of whatever it is you give to me. I do this for free. I do this without charge. I do this in love. So whatever you give to me, you're supporting me and you're supporting this platform and my ability to stream, to research, to develop other things on your behalf and on behalf of those who are going to connect with our wonderful spiritual community. Real quickly, tell me what you thought about the teaching tonight, and I'm going to release you. What did you think about the teaching tonight? And I'm going to let you go. Let's see. I'm going to release you. Let's see. Thank you so much. Our resident therapist says, love you, teacher. I love you too, my brother. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Did you get something out of the lesson tonight? Thank you for tuning in and stopping by. I'm going to release you in a few minutes with the shalom, peace, blessing. Anybody else want to share some feedback tonight as to what you thought about the presentation? And don't hesitate, if you have a question, to put your questions in the comments section. Especially if they're in line with what I'm teaching, I'll be glad to pause and try and give some feedback. If it's something that's too lengthy, then I'll do about inbox. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping by. $AG Green is the Cash App, or $AG Green Enterprises. Or you can go to theaggreen.com and find out how to donate. So what you don't have today, when the money comes or the opportunity comes, if you think about me and what I do, it's good anytime you send it. All right. I am honored to serve you. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so, and so it is. You're a dynamic, powerful, divine, spiritual species. And it is according to your faith. That is how it's going to manifest for you. See many of you all in a couple of days. Love you. Enjoy your evening.